All right, guys, here we are with the review. We went over this in class. The answer document should also be here on the classroom, but I'm going to go ahead and go over this one more time with y'all for those of you who want to go through and see another explanation and such. So question one, how many non-collinear points determine a plane? And that's real simple. It's three. Three non-collinear points. They can't be in a straight line because then you have a line, remember, and that could possibly be just one-dimensional. But if they're not in line, then you have to have a plane to cover them all. So again, three. Two, name two different sets of three non-collinear. This is a typo. I mentioned it in class. I obviously should say points. And it's real simple. You name the points from each line. So one of them are points A, E, and B, right there. And then the other group would be points C, E, and D. Let's go right there. And again, pretty simple, pretty straightforward type question. Number three, determine whether each statement is true or false. So a line does not have measurable length. That's true. Lines go on forever. They cannot be measured. A segment instead extends indefinitely. That is false. The segment has actual measurable length. So those two should really be switched. A line extends indefinitely. A segment has measurable length. Oh, if you take out the does not part. A plane has edges. False. Right? Planes also go on forever. There is no real edge to them, even, though they don't exist. A point has no length, width, or height. That is correct. A plane has no dimension, no measurable values of any kind. All right, on to number four. Find the length of PQ. Pretty simple problem here. You have the full segment PR. This is QR at 12.6. So all you're going to do to find PQ is subtract. Again, be very careful in your subtraction. Any of the math you do, really, but on the quiz, there were some mistakes here, like I've mentioned many times in class. So you got to borrow. That becomes 13 because you borrowed a tens unit from there. 13 minus 6 is 7. Sorry for the messy handwriting. This pen doesn't work as well as I thought. But that's a decimal point. 3 minus 2 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. And the answer is 11.7 centimeters. All right. 5. Angle ABC measures 145 degrees. If D is the interior of the angle and ABD is 62, what is the measure? So, a little bit to draw here, but once you kind of get it all on here, very simple to solve. All right, so there's a big angle. It doesn't have to be accurate. It doesn't have to be drawn to scale, but it helps. And we can put A, B, C, and then somewhere in the interior is a point D. So the whole thing is 145. ABD is 62. They want to know what DBC is. So again, a whole lot of kind of drawing here for a very simple problem. The big thing is 145, the smaller angle is 62. To find the other ones, you simply subtract. So 145 minus 62. 5 minus 2 is 3. Don't even need to borrow. You can borrow here or just treat this as 14. And 14 minus 6 is 8. And 83 degrees is the answer for DBC. All right, on to the second column. Name two pairs of adjacent angles. So adjacent angles, again, are angles that they share the same vertex, they share a line, and they're literally right next to each other. So there's actually several pairs here. I don't know if I'll be able to write these all very well. Let me see how this goes. So we have we'll start with angle USV, and that is vertical with VSW. Okay, and those are the two here, here, and here. But then, if you want to look at another pair, I'll use another color here, we can take this one again and go with that one. So that is VSW and WSR. All right, but then we can also take these two, right? And that is going to be angle WSR and RST. So as you can see, I'm just kind of going around circular and just making all the pairs. You only need two. If you're asked to answer this without multiple choice, I just need two. I don't need four. It's going to be 5 total. But I'm showing you all the possibilities. So this one would become RST and TSU. And last but not least, this angle and this angle, which would be TSU and USV. So any combination of any two of those 5 would work here. Okay? And then there is a typo here on the next question. It should say which angle is vertical with WSU, not VSU. And the reason that's a problem is because you can't have vertical angles if two lines don't cross, and VSU involves VS, which is a ray, it's not a line. So really, if you want to kind of ignore it, we should be focusing on this line here and this line here. So WSU, that got kind of crowded there. WSU is formed right there. And so if you look at it, it's this angle from there to there. Vertical is the one across from it, which would be here. So that would be angle TSR. Or you could call it RST, works the same way. Number 8, the midpoint of XY is Z. If the coordinates of Z are 1, -2, and the coordinates of X are 5, 4, what are the coordinates of Y? So this was not on the quiz, but I did tell you in the practice we did that it would be on the test, and here it is. So it's not find the midpoint, it's I know the midpoint. I know one endpoint. I need to find the other midpoint, the other endpoint, which we'll call X2, Y2. Let me move that over a little bit. And so we're still going to use the midpoint formula, but what we're going to have to do with it is use it to solve for what we're missing here. Okay? So what you want to do is set it up as normal. Parentheses, let me use a black pen. X1 plus X2. 5 of it is X1. You don't know X2. Sorry, it's the pen I'm using for this is not working very well on the screen. Divided by 2, but you don't just stop there. You actually know what the midpoint's supposed to give you, right? This is the midpoint, and you know that. So this is supposed to give you 1. And then when you set up the y's, 4 plus y2 over 2, you know that the y coordinate is -2. So you actually know what they're supposed to give you, so you treat this like an algebra equation. Very simple to solve, 2 steps, right? And the first step is always multiply both sides by 2, because that's going to cancel this out to 1, and then you just have 5 plus x2, 1 times 2 is 2. On this side, same thing, times 2, times 2. That cancels, you get 4 plus y2 equals negative 4, and then minus 5, you're going to get negative 3, minus 4. Be careful here. Negative 4 minus 4 makes a plus a negative. You're going to get negative 8. And that is your answer. Negative 3, negative 8. All right, we keep going. Find the value of x if s is between r and t. Rs is 12, st is 5x, and rt is 57. So pretty simple. You have your segment R T S, and RS is 12, ST is 5x, and RT is 57, the whole thing. So remember, in segment addition, much similar to angle addition, the basic idea starts with the two smaller pieces, RS plus ST, add together to give you the whole thing. So if you write that out first, then you can just plug in RS is 12, ST is 5x, and the whole thing is 57. So then it's just minus 12 here. That cancels. 57 minus 12 is 45. Divide by 5. X equals 9. Did not ask you to plug it back in, so you're done. Easy problem. Number 10 is the same thing with different numbers, so I'll go through this a little more quickly. A, C, B, 5y, 3y, 40. So 5y plus 3y equals 40. 8y equals 40, because you're going to combine them, they're like terms, and y equals 5. All right, so that was page 1. Hope that helped you if you needed it. The next video should be for page 2. Thanks.